Hello, my name is Antonio Huntley, and I am the Career Specialist Liaison at FAMU and FSU College of Engineering, and also FAMU College of Science and Technology. Our office is the Career and Professional Development Center. We are located in the University Commons, room 104. Today, we will be discussing a guide to preparing a great resume and cover letter. All right, creating a great resume. Please remember when creating a resume that the ultimate goal is not to land a job, but rather to obtain a job interview. I will repeat, landing a job is not the purpose of the resume, but it is the purpose to help you obtain a job interview. So we're going to talk about putting together a resume. Important uses. You want to make sure when you're creating this resume that it's an overview of your experiences, you have a reference for contacts, and lastly, it is an advertisement that sells you the best. So make sure that you are selling yourself when you're creating this resume. All right, so there's four types of resumes. There's a chronological one. The chronological resume is the most widely used resume and is preferred by many employers. So you may see that as the most common type of resume. You also have the functional resume, which this style suits individuals making a career change or re-entering the workplace, or those who may have frequently changed jobs. Also, the combination resume is a resume that is a blend of the chronological and the functional. Lastly, we have the artistic fields. You may demonstrate your creative or artistic skills by using a less traditional layout and font style, but please prepare a traditional resume to accompany your creative resume as well. So if you're going to do the artistic field, that type of resume, you want to make sure that you also have a traditional resume to accompany your creative resume as well. So as we discussed earlier, that a resume is not the key to opening or get landing you a job, but rather it's the key to obtaining you a job interview. You should say the most about you in the fewest amount of words. You should sell your qualification, your skills, and also have a bonus tip for you. Please remember that one resume does not fit all job opportunities or career paths. So for some of you who have a wide, may pursue a degree that have a wide field or a wide range of job opportunities, you may have to adjust your resume based on the job that you're applying for. So please remember that one resume does not fit all. All right, so let's discuss some general guidelines. There's no right or wrong way technically with a resume, but at the same time, there are guidelines to follow. You want to make sure that each resume is easy to read at the first glance. You should write your resume. You should write your resume, meaning that no one else should write your resume for you. You want to make sure that you are being consistent in your resume. Your structure should be brief, clear, and informative. And you want to make sure that every sentence and bullet count to strengthen your image. You as a potential employer, employee, you want to make sure that your every sentence, every bullet point that is on that resume strongly strengthen who you are or who you would like to present yourself as, brother. So more general guidelines. You want to make sure that you use action or active words. When we're creating a resume in a chronological order, you want to make sure, or a chronological resume rather, you want to make sure that you use reverse chronological order. So you want to start from the present all the way up to the past. So you want to start with your most current employer or your most current education. However, whatever section you want to start with the most current or the most recent one. We want to make sure that we're checking for grammar and spelling errors. Let's please eliminate first person pronouns such as I, me, mine. We want to eliminate that. And you want to make sure that it is visually inviting. Appearance is everything. You want to make sure that at the first glance of your resume, that your appearance draws that employer to you. Okay, let's talk about the design. Paper. You want to make sure that you use good, thick bond paper. The margin lengths should be 1 inch all around. Try to keep it to 1 page. Please try to keep it to 1 page. Your typeface should be between 10 and 12. Use a nice, easy to read font. A nice, easy to read. And lastly, your spacing should be double spaced between headings and single space between the descriptions. All right, so let's talk about the content. Only items leading to an interview should be on the resume. There are certain required categories such as name, address, phone, email. Those are headings. So they should be in your heading, your name, address, phone, email. Your body should include an objective or summary. Then you also want to include your education, your experience, work, volunteer, leadership, anything in that capacity. You want to make sure that you're including your experience, your education, your summary, or objective. Then there are some optional categories that you can make a decision on, such as relevant courses, honors, activities, skills, computer skills, or professional affiliations. Some of you guys may be in a fraternity or a sorority. They can be included on there, or a national organization. You can also include those on there. But once again, this is optional and not required. Please use only the categories which best capture the spirit of what you've done, not what anyone else done, but what you have done and have actively been a part of. Let's talk about the headings, your identifying information. So your name, use your proper name. Let's avoid nicknames. Let's use your government name, the name that's on your social security card, the name that's on your birth certificate. We want to use your proper name. Okay, address. Be sure that your address info is up to date. And something that our office are encouraging students to do is not put your exact address, but more so your city, state, and zip code. Telephone. Be sure to include the area code with your phone number. And we also suggest that you use 2 numbers. You have 2 numbers listed. So maybe like a personal number, or maybe a Google, and also a Google Voice number, or your home phone if you still have one, and also your cell phone number. Lastly, I encourage you guys to use your most regular email address. In this case, would be your FAMU email address. So I encourage you guys on your resume to have your FAMU email address included in the header. Okay, objective. Please make sure that it is brief, clearly stated, and consistent with the resume. The summary should be an alternative to the objective, which would present your strength at the beginning of your resume. So you want to make sure whatever you put in this resume, in your summary or objective, you want to make sure that it captures the eye of the employer, because if it don't, they're going to really just scheme over your resume. You want to make sure that those first couple of words capture their attention. Okay, education, the first pitch. Degree abbreviations. AS, which would mean associate science degree. AA, Associates of Art. BA, Bachelor of Arts. BS, Bachelors of Science, etc. If you need the space, otherwise spell out bachelor's, master's. So if you don't need that space, you can abbreviate it. If you need that space, you can abbreviate it, but if you don't, please spell it out. It looks more professional. If you're in any type of major or minor, include the program major, but also if you're in in any type of minor, you want to make sure that you include that as well. The name of your school, city, town, state of school, date of graduation, or in you guys' case, expected graduation date, GPA if it's to your advantage. So I would say if it's 3.5 or higher, include that. Or even let's begin to say if it's 3.0 or higher, you want to include that. But if it's below 3.0, I would encourage you not to include that on a resume. But if they do ask you for that in the interview or on a job application, if they request your GPA, please make sure that you're honest with that. But if you don't have a 3.0 or higher, please don't include that on the resume. But if you have a 3.0 or higher, please, please, please include that. Any certifications or license, you want to include that as well in this resume. Work or related experiences. Each job description should include the name and location of the employer, job title, date, month and year that you began, and month and year that you ended. If you're still current, or if you're still currently employed, make sure that you put present there. So you have the month and year you started, dash, and then you also have present if you're currently employed. But if not, please include the month and year. You want to make sure that you describe briefly and clearly using action verbs. Identify the most relevant experience. So you want to make sure that your work or related experience is relative to the job that you're applying for. Show a range of the experience and responsibility. Okay, building a bullet. You want to start with an action verb. You want to identify what you learned, what you gained, and what you accomplished. Include results when appropriate. Quantify when using numbers. Always show them in their number form. The number of bullets included depends on the information. Computer knowledge. If computers are an important part of your job or the career interest, highlight this in a separate session. You want to organize your experience into software, hardware, programs, platforms that you are experienced in using. Also include honors and activities. List most impressive first. So you want to list your most impressive first. Limit it to 4 or 5 most important. Describe your leadership and committee duties. Limit them to 4 or 5 most important. And lastly, you want to have your other accomplishments, such as Dean List, Honor Society, Community Awards, Scholarship, Departmental Awards. We also have a Rattler's Career Guide. You can find this at famu.edu/career center. Click the student tab, then also click student resources, and then you will see the Rattler Career Guide. We have examples of resumes from pages 30 to 38. Also, if you need assistance with help creating a resume, we also have another portal that assists students. It's called optimalresume.com. Please use that. It even gives you like a template based off your job interests or your career field. It gives you that assistance. So please take advantage of that if you need assistance with creating a resume. And also, once a resume is created, please come to our office. We'll be more than happy to assist you by editing, reviewing it, critiquing it, anything that you need assistance with. Please feel free to visit our office and we will assist you. References. It is a good idea to prepare a reference sheet in addition to your resume. It's not necessary to list your references on the resume. So, but you want to make sure that you get permission from your potential references before including their information, their contact information on there. You also want to include their name, title, their organization/company, the address, phone number, and email when possible. Excuse me. We're going to talk about printing and submitting your resume. Yet, let's use a 20-pound or higher stock, white, off-white, gray, or light blue paper. Use a lighter. Use a laser printer. Please, let's remember to use a laser printer. Let's avoid stapling, folding, or cramming your resume together. Once again, let's use at least a 20-pound or higher stock, white, off-white, gray, or light blue paper, a laser printer, and let's avoid stapling, folding, or crunching up your resume together. Proofread, proofread, proofread. Let's look for spelling errors, punctuation, spacing, or missing words. Also, have someone else review over your resume. For instance, our office, that's what we're here for, before submitting it to a potential employer. All right, guys, so I hope you are still with me. We have pretty much summed up everything as it relates to the resume. So if you have any questions about that, please email me at antonio.huntley@famu.edu or contact someone from our office. So now we're going to talk about cover letter writing. Please stay with me, guys. All right, cover letter topics. You want to include the purpose of a cover letter, general letter writing tips. And we also want to talk about cover letter format, introduction, sell yourself, closing, and additional types of letters. So the purpose of a cover letter is it is definitely a marketing tool. You are marketing yourself. It's an indication of your communication skills and professionalism. And lastly, it is an elaboration of your resume. General cover letter tips. Standard paper if mailing. Addressed to an actual person, name and title. Perfect, I repeat, perfect spelling and grammar. And make sure you tailor this cover letter based on the position that you apply for. Address the needs of the company and highlight your skill sets, your relevant skill sets. So in this cover letter format, you want to include your address, your date, company and the company and organization address. You want to make sure there's a greeting, dear Mr. You want to have a body, 3 to 4 paragraphs, including an intro and closing. You want to make sure that you close with a sincerely, best regards, your name, and your signature. Introduction paragraph. Introduce yourself by stating relative information such as your major. Express genuine interest in the position and reference which position, in caps I repeat, which position you are applying for. Let's briefly describe how you met the employee or how you meet the employer's requirement. And lastly, state where you found out about the job if you desire it. So this is an example of a introduction paragraph. So I will let you guys read that. So as you can see that this person made sure they included their bachelor's degree, what they had it in, also which position that they're applying for, the company name, and then also how they're confident that their educational background, also they have about their research experience meet the qualifications for this position. Okay, so let's talk about selling yourself, marketing yourself, advertising yourself, paragraph. Site specifics, relevant achievements, or activities to support your abilities. Please do not simply repeat the information on your resume, but rather elaborate on the information. Who's awesome? You're awesome. All right, so here's a simple paragraph. So as you can see that this person is not simply repeating verbatim what's on the resume, but elaborating. These experiences have provided me with the knowledge of business operation across multiple industries and it also have sharpened my skills in editing and communication. Then it also talks about some of the software skills. You see, utilize word processing software, including Microsoft Office. Let's elaborate, not repeat verbatim. All right, the closing paragraph. You want to thank the person for their time, provide them with your contact information, phone number, and email address. Direct approach. Let them know that you will contact their office on Friday to see if you can schedule a few minutes of their time. Request that. You can also request it if you would like, say, hey, I would like to contact you on Friday morning to see if I can could schedule a few minutes of your time. And then there also is indirect approach, which many may use is, I would appreciate the opportunity to talk with you in the near future. So simple closing paragraph. I hope to utilize my strong editorial and technical skills at the company name. I would appreciate the opportunity to talk with you in the near future. You also see how the number is provided and also the email address is provided. You see there's a signature, the name, and a closing. We also have samples of cover letters in our career guide on page 39 and 40. If you need assistance with creating a cover letter, please review optimalresume.com and and also stop by our office and we will be more than willing to assist you with that. All right, so there's some other type of letters. There's thank you letters. We would encourage you to send that um, as soon as you have completed your interview. Then also email is acceptable when completing or sending a thank you letter after you have obtained the interview and have done that. And then also in that you want to reiterate your interest in the position. All right, so there's some networking letters directed to potential contacts. So in this you want to have information gathering, not necessarily job seeking. You want to talk about have industry information, referrals to other professionals, career advice. After you send a networking letter, you want to make sure that you also send a thank you letter as well. So for many of you guys, I would encourage sending networking letters after maybe an employer have visit campus and you may have attended an informational session, connected with an employer there, or after our career fair. You want to make sure that you, if you connected with an employer there or got a business card, send a networking letter there as well. All right, declining offer letter. You want to also, in this, you want to let them know that you cannot simply not reply to a job offer. Let's not do that. You want to make sure that you're professional and let them know that unfortunately, due to whatever reasons, you guys may want to decline that job offer. You want to send a response to the hiring manager to let them know that unfortunately you won't be taking that position because you never want to burn a bridge and you never know when that opportunity may represent itself. You want to make sure that you're in good standing with the company to qualify for maybe like another job interview. So let's be professional in everything that we do. All right, response to rejection. As much as we hate it, at some point in life we will be rejected for something, but it's a way that we respond that makes us a better person, or even display our professionalism. You want to make sure that you want to keep doors open in the future. Just because they reject you now doesn't mean that they'll reject you in the future, but the way that you respond can determine whether or not that door will be open for you in the future. You want to be brief in this rejection letter. Don't say anything negative about the company or the interviewers. All right. So once again, like I say, it's very recommended that you stop by our office to have your resume critiqued by one of the career specialists or someone in our department. We are the Career and Professional Development Center please stop by our office and we can get you registered in our system, Hire a Rattler, also known as Handshake. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at antonio.huntley@famu.edu. And I hope you guys are adjusting to just this whole shift with online and virtual classes. So if you want to set up a one-on-one appointment, please reach out to our office, and we will be more than willing to do that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself and found this information helpful as you guys begin to continue to explore your career options and make the necessary steps as you move forward in your career field. Once again, we are located in the University Commons Room 104, Career Professional Career and Professional Development Center. Thanks, good luck, and God's blessings over your life.